Hi guys, this is Shivraj. I'm from GMT Academy, and as you know, this is on demanding session on master and feeder. Master and feeder, it means it's a fund structure. You would see such as structures in uh, hedge fund, private equity, mutual funds, fund of funds, and in other funds as well. So in a fund business, basically you would see such structures, but the most important aspect is why we required such structures and what we're going to do with such a structures and all. That is important aspect for us for the discussion, and that's what I'm here to decode all of that. All right. So let's start with the discussion little bit about why structures come into picture. See, from a accounting perspective, I would say just think about it. You have launched one scheme and you have received, let's say, 1 million responses from the different customers, and those customers are from different, let's say, states. Let's say Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, or any other different states. And if you see from a tax perspective, you would say different tax rates for each and every customers from different states. And that's when your problem it will start, when record the transactions in the books of account. Because when they invest, that's not a problem, but when they earn something, so on return, basically you would see we charge, means government basically charge different taxes. And that's what to design this the accounting structures as per the requirement of that each customer, that becomes difficult, or again, customer or investor, that becomes difficult then. And to resolve that conflicts, that's what you would see, which is master and feeder, standalone, parallel, composite. You would see different structures which come into picture. And actually means we design structures where we can allow different investors under different funds, or different, let's say, entities, and then we can manage their investments and everything easily or seamlessly, I would say. And that's what your master and feeder structure come into picture. Master, it means it's like a parent. So let's discuss about master and feeder. Master, it's like a parents, all right, and feeder, it's like a child. All right, let's say parent has a two childs. One is feeder A and one is feeder B. So sometime you would see feeder A, basically let's say master has feeder A in US, all right, and let's say feeder B, which is for let's say euro currency. So it is, which is for a euro, it means international currency. Now here you would see for a euro, maybe let's say there is a 10%, let's say, tax rate, and maybe for US there is a 5% tax percentage. So that's what you would see, different tax percentage as well. And here then the best part is you can create multiple classes under series. You can create multiple classes under series, means under feeder you can create multiple classes. And you can then also allocate subscriptions, investments, expenses, redemptions, and everything under each class. And that classes everything that you can assign to the feeders, and feeders everything that you can means invest, I would say, in master. So this is how you can create a structures and manage it. So this structure is basically helpful for, I would say, for a tax allocation or a tax purposes, right? And even if you have an international presence, international business presence, as I said, this feeder you can create for euro, and this is you can create for US. But basically master, again, which would be legal entity, again feeder also it would be legal entity, and even this feeder also it would be different legal entity. Same feeder it can be from same AMC, or even it can be from different AMC as well. So that depends. So it means, let's say, there is one feeder from ICICI Direct, which is AMC, and let's say feeder A is from Axis, right? Both can invest in Kotak Master Fund. Kotak Master Fund. It's like fund of fund, but it's not actually fund of funds. And let's say feeder has one, let's say 10,000, and this Axis feeder has 5,000. So both can contribute amount, let's say like this, 3,000 means this fund feeder contributed 3,000 and ICICI direct feeder contributed 3,000. So basically 6,000, amount that you would see under your master for accounting purpose. All right. So this is what we actually allocate the subscriptions or investments, expenses, income, redemptions, valuations, journal entries, trial balance, NAV, right? Same NAV means class NAV, that would be total. If you can total, that will tie with your feeder NAV, and feeder means feeders total you would see here. So it basically total feeders NAV, it will tie with your master NAV, and this is how we create the structures. And even though in system as well, you would see the same structure in your accounting systems like Geneva, Investron, Aladdin, and other accounting systems as well. Most important question is individual investors and institutions allowed to invest in master directly without feeder? Yes, it is allowed, right? And that's what even I mentioned it. Individual institutions and even master or feeder, they are allowed to invest in masters. And the most important activity which we perform, expenses as well as investments, expenses, income, investment, everything that we allocate to the feeders on the basis of their capital, invested capital. Let's say if 20% this feeder allocated and 20% this feeder allocated, so it means 20% expense, income, assets, liabilities, everything that we allocate to the each and every feeder class. All right. Second important aspect is how we calculate NAV. See, we calculate NAV at feeder level, we calculate NAV at master level. So it means we calculate NAV at both the levels. What about, sir, incentive fees calculation, or let's say management fees calculation? See, we calculate management fees at feeder level, management fees, and even incentive fees also we calculate at master level as well as at feeder level. So it means basically here it's a structure. The structure is best for tax calculations or tax allocations, or I would say if you want to manage investment, complex investment structure, so we can create a master and feeder and then we can manage it. So this feature, so it means basically master focuses on investment activities, all investment, it means all investment, and your feeder focuses on your allocation part, allocation basically accounting part, right? So this is how. And even the most important aspect you would see, investors basically, investors invest in feeder, or maybe you can say different class of investors, investments. All right. So investors invest in feeders, and feeder invest in masters, and masters directly invest in financial instruments. Master directly invest in equity, bonds, or different investment instruments, I would say. But yes, feeder feeder actually, again, it's a legal entity, but they only focus on investing in masters, not investing individually. But that doesn't mean feeder they'll not invest. Yes, of course, feeder can also invest separately as well. For example, let's say this feeder has a capital of uh, let's say 5,000. So they can only invest 2,500 in ABC Global Fund, Master Fund, and they can manage 2,500 separately as well. So you would see, more, I would say like customization when we talk about different structures and all. And if you're looking for any accounting interview as such, you would see lots of questions around master and feeder. But yes, let me just summarize it. Master and feeder, it means it's accounting structure which we use for I would say for a accounting purpose. So it means that structures help us to maintain the accounting for complex, fund structures or investment structure. So that where we can create a feeders, a master structure where master will focus on investing parts and feeder will focus on more accounting and even fundraising part as well. All right. But as I said, individual person and even institutions, they can directly invest in masters, Also, they can invest in feeders as well, and that's how your master and feeder structures works. And always you would see there would be one onshore and offshore. Onshore, offshore, basically, it's I would say it's like your if you are from, let's say, India, and you have investors from US as well, then you would see onshore and offshore as well, basically onshore and offshore feeder structure. All right, offshore feeder and onshore feeder. So it means one which is for your foreign investors and another one which is for your domestic investors. So you can create such structures and maintain all accountings and everything. And most important part is we'll have separate NAV for each feeder. We'll have a separate NAV for your each class. If you see any class under your feeder, and also we'll have a separate NAV for master as well. So NAV means basically we prepare a trial balance, we post even journal entries, we calculate or verify the valuations, we set up the accruals and even calculate expenses and everything and update it in the books of accounts. We also record the investments and everything in the books of master and feeder. That's how we allocate it. All right, and this allocation would be maybe on a daily basis if it is mutual fund. In case of hedge fund, you would see on a monthly basis, and in case of private equity, you would see like quarterly or yearly basis. So that depends on the funds and their investment nature. So this is how your a master fund looks like. And if you want like more in detail session on master and feeder, then you can join my live training programs, which I'll cover more concepts like this, where you can learn in details. In details, it means in details. For example, let's say how we record journal entries under feeder, how we record, let's say, how we allocate expenses under, let's say, feeder or master, or the different scenarios and everything. Definitely that I'll cover my trainings and all. So if you are interested for that, you can join it and enroll my program. And one more question that I would like to ask now, try or tell me, what is standalone structure? Tell me, what is standalone structure? What is standalone structure? Tell me that. So you can try to post your answer in comment section. Otherwise, I'll also schedule small session on standalone structure as well. So let's you give a try first. Then definitely I'll come up with my examples and everything, and then I'll walk you through standalone structure as well. So yeah, meanwhile, you can watch my other sessions as well on fund accounting and upskill your knowledge. We'll see you next session. Thank